Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for being here. Okay, sorry. I sincerely apologize for being here late. It's due to some emergency that I had to attend to. I thought I'll be having a presentation, but since the time allotted to me will not be able to take care of that, I think I will just simply go ahead with what I have here. The essence of our talk today about fake news is because the democratization of access to information have created an opportunity for purveyors of or what we call fake news merchants to make money off what the media failed to report. What do I mean by what the media failed to report? The media system have the gatekeeping function, which is part and parcel of the ethics of the profession for every journalist, trained journalist. But over the years, due to the advent of technology and the democratization of access to information via the social media platforms, we've seen the increase in spread of what has come to be known as fake news. Fake news are content geared towards stopping you and I from thinking critically about what we see or about what we read online. And like Gary Kasparov once said, the point of modern propaganda isn't only to misinform or push an agenda. It is to exhaust your critical thinking, to annihilate truth. We've come to a point in our nation that we need to understand the fact that not everything you see or read online should be taken as you see them. And had even time permits, I would have shown you examples of quite a number of content that people have been sharing online. And I can take you back to some of them. For instance, we are all aware of when it was circulating that the man in the Aso Rock is Jubril from Sudan. We've all heard about social media users claiming that you don't even need a WAEC result to be the president of Nigeria. We've had instances, especially during the coronavirus pandemic, where people are sharing information that if you receive the COVID jab, there is a magnet that comes with the vaccine that makes anything metallic to gum to your body. There are many examples, and they are on and on. While it is okay to be honest, it is okay to consume the media, it also behoves on us as individuals, as patriotic Nigerians, to critically examine what we consume. Most times, people share content because they believe the person who shared such content with them without going a step further to verify the reliability or the authenticity of the information. And that is why fact-checking has become essential for us as journalists, and for image makers, for any person or professional involved in the business of information. Basically, fact-checking is the process whereby you seek to clarify all the facts, either in a piece of writing, in a story, article, report, and to ensure that they are accurate and correct. The scope of fact-checking over the years have widened to include audiovisuals, images, audio recordings, and so on and so forth. The onus is on us as journalists to ensure that we uphold the ethics of the profession, because the technology that we've so much embraced these days, it's becoming a nemesis, and we need to be up and doing as a journalist. So what are the things that you can fact check? We talked about fake news. Fake news is just a combination of what we call misinformation and disinformation. Misinformation is anything false or inaccurate, but deliberately intended to deceive. There is also what we call malinformation. Malinformations are actually genuine information, but the purpose of the originator of such is to malign people's character. If all of us are frequent on social media platforms, we will recall the leak of Empress in Jama, Tiwa Savage, and so on and so forth. They are actually intended to malign the character of those individuals. They are genuine, they are real. And we also have disinformation. Disinformation, from the originator, they are false and often targeted at changing public opinion on any issue or individual. And we can go on and on. And what is media literacy? It's simply our ability as journalists to become more critical consumers of content online. Both emphasize the essence of critical thinking in what we read online and what we share online. To become media literate is not just about memorizing facts and figures. It's about raising the right questions about what you're watching, what you're reading, and what you're listening to. For every media message that you watch or you read, you need to analyze, you need to evaluate. Because that is what makes us human. And that is what makes us to exercise our citizenship role in a democratic society. There are some 5 or 6 things that media literacy teaches us. One is to differentiate facts from non-factual information. The other is to recognize ignorance. One is also to recognize the cognitive biases, either of the message or even the platform delivering the message. You will all agree with me that in every society there is what we call the media bias. Because we've come to discover that our politicians have a way of influencing the content that the media publish. The other point is to evaluate the source of the information. Part of the thing that media literacy teaches us is to also to become active listener and also increase our capacity to engage in difficult conversations about issues, about politics, about health. And it also teaches us to identify logic and informal fallacies about information. At this point, it is important for us to always question the media messages we consume. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of this content? Who is it directed towards? Or is it targeting a specific audience? Or is it targeting to malign the character of an institution or of an individual? How can this message be interpreted by different audiences? For instance, prior during the election season before, that's early 2022, the social media platforms were awash with images of the vice president-elect, Shetima, with some group of Fulanis dining. And most of the captions on social media platforms regarding that image were saying, see the vice president of the APC dining with bandits. And the image went viral prior to the election. So these are the things you need to also evaluate. Just before the governorship election, we also saw the image of Peter Obi and Gbadebo Rottweiler sharing a bottle of beer on while they were waiting for their flight at the Lagos Lodge, at the Lagos airport. These are instances, and I can give us more and more. So, what do we need to do? How do we need to ensure that what we are watching or what we are reading, you need to be skeptical about everything you come across online. Always ask yourself, are they biased? Does this article present one side of the story? What is the other side of the story that the platform do not want to reveal? Does the headline look too incredible? If you are unsure, check other credible media platforms to cross-check the information, because any genuine news report, any genuine images, genuine video, most credible media platform would report the matter. So if you are finding it on, for instance, Podium Reporters, and you are not seeing it on Punch, you are not seeing it in Daily Trust, you are not seeing it in Nigerian Tribune, you should be worried. You should be able to raise questions. There are so many tools that as journalists that we can use. Maybe I can share the tools. I have them in a PDF format. Listed out. I shared it with the organizers. Maybe they can share it with journalists present. There are so many tools that you can use to do all this. And the advent of artificial intelligence has even complicated the matter for us as journalists, because it is very difficult for you to identify what is true from what is not, especially visuals, because artificial intelligence has been able to ensure that you can manipulate people's conversation, audio, almost 99% accurate, using AI tools such as Descript and so on. So what do we do as journalists? Improve your skills. Learn more. That's why platforms like the FactCheckHub, the ICIR, Africa Check, Dubawa, that's why we are there. We were once journalists. I worked as a multimedia reporter with Daily Trust for about a decade. But I told myself at a point that I need to move from them say to be looking at even what we are dishing out. Because I could record inability to verify most of this information also impacts on our own report as journalists. I worked on a report which was published by The Guardian. Nobody could believe that what The Guardian reported could be manipulated. The reporter got the information from sources. And the information was that the UN has agreed to create another state out of Cameroon. And only The Guardian reported it. And I got a call from AIT that the news is on their news item for the 6 p.m. news. But they need to verify to be sure if this is accurate. And we'll reach out to our sources. We deploy our tools. And in just over an hour, we were able to get accurate information. And that is why we are encouraging you, as journalists, as patriotic Nigerians, to embrace fact-checking. Whatever you know, currently, I can say it, is limited. But with fact-checking, there are limitless opportunities, not just in verifying information. You can also become so many things. Because with technology, it has opened the door to create more new jobs and more opportunities for people. We now have social media monitors, we have digital forensics, who can tell you your digital footprint on all platforms, just using some tools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put